So we just wanted to remind everyone that while educational talks are completely allowed and encouraged in the state of Texas, aiding and abetting abortion or seeking abortions is not. And so to be mindful, especially after this talk, to not put yourselves at risk by speaking about intentions to help others self-manage their own abortions. And Dr. McCord also wanted me to mention that if individuals choose to do so, that is their choice, but the school cannot back them.
I'm April Lockley. I am a family medicine doctor. I am living currently in New York City, and I provide abortion care in a variety of settings. And then after fellowship, I began working at a small sexual and reproductive health clinic in Brooklyn as their medical director. So that's currently my full-time job. We provide the full spectrum of reproductive health care. In addition, I am an abortion provider per diem at Planned Parenthood throughout the New York region. And then I also am a part of a group or organization called the Miscarriage and Abortion Hotline, which I will talk about a little more later. And just like as a disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer. I know things are in legal flux, especially for you all in Texas. My understanding is, just sharing general information is protected under the First Amendment. And so, sharing general information about abortion, again, is protected under the First Amendment, and we should all feel that we're not breaking any laws by talking about abortion in general. Essentially, medication abortion in the US is typically thought of in regards to taking two medications called mifepristone and misoprostol, or Miffy and Miso for short. The reason that mifepristone or Mifeprex has been very difficult to access outside of just laws in different states is due to something called the REMS, or the Risk Evaluation and Mitigation Strategies. A lot of the medications under this program are medications like chemotherapy drugs, for example. So medications that are, very dangerous that you probably shouldn't be just like picking up at the pharmacy without direction. So that's why access has been very difficult, because mifepristone, up until actually last year, you could not just, as a physician, prescribe it and then a patient able to pick it up from a pharmacy. So in 2016 and then in 2021, due to abundant research about how safe the medication is, there were some updated protocols to follow. And so now mifepristone, per the FDA, can be mailed. However, there are still other restrictions, like pharmacies have to register to be certified to provide mifepristone. So it was a win last year that some of the restrictions improved, but it's not perfect. The next part, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then I can talk a little more just about more about self-managed abortion. And these are some resources. So now I guess I'll just talk a little more about self-managed abortion. And so some of the resources are in the chat. And if you're interested in learning about self-managed abortion in regards to resources where people can obtain medications to self-manage or self-source, is a really great resource. And so when people talk about self-managing or self-sourcing medication abortion, that essentially means that they're ending their pregnancy outside of the formal medical system. It has a lot of general information about medication abortion, self-managed abortion, but specifically their website has information based on, where you live, about how you can obtain medication abortion pills. And so a lot of people are obtaining pills through a variety of ways. One is through ordering online pharmacies. And so those typically are not in the US, because as we know in the US, you can't really just call your pharmacy and get whatever medication you want. But there are some overseas pharmacies where you go to their site and then you can order mifepristone and misoprostol through through their sites. Another organization that's providing a lot of pills for people is called this organization was founded by a physician who lives in Europe. And so all the medications that are coming into states such as Texas are also coming from overseas pharmacies. She's writing the prescriptions from overseas pharmacies and they send them to the US. I don't know if anyone's heard of. So she started her work by going into international waters and doing abortion procedures in international waters outside of countries where abortion was banned. That was obviously a nice model, but you could only do so many procedures on a boat in the middle of the ocean at a time. And then so she pivoted to, she pivoted to another organization. There's another branch of that supplies medications to other countries as well, but specifically for the United States. So it's another source of how people are getting medications in all 50 states in the United States of America. So obviously a lot of people are very concerned about the new laws. Again, medication abortion is very safe medically, and most people are getting in trouble, unfortunately, because healthcare professionals, people who have been arrested for their pregnancy outcomes have often gotten in trouble because healthcare professionals have reported them to the police. So that is, I'm glad you all are here, something to remember when talking about this work. We're under no obligation to report people to the police if they've ended their pregnancy. And so the legal hotline is a hotline that people can call and they contact you back if they have legal questions about ending their pregnancy. They also have a bail fund for people who unfortunately do get arrested that can help them with bail and assistance with getting a lawyer. I just wanted to point out that abortion is just like kind of a one part of the work that we do, especially as family physicians, like taking care of whole families and whole people. It's not easy, and I'm pregnant myself right now. And so I know that it's not going to always be an easy road. So people have all sorts of complicated feelings about their pregnancies and how those pregnancies end. So yeah, there's a lot of great resources out there. Yeah, and just share that, we're working in this together, and with you all in Texas, especially, being in New York, obviously is a little bit different. And I'm thankful that I can still provide, again, the full options to patients. But I have a lot of colleagues working in Texas, and I know you all are continuing to be advocates and, provide the best, care for people that you can. So I really appreciate that you all are here as advocates and doing this important work. And hopefully I shared some information that you can share with others.